I am Ravi Visvesvaraya Sharada Prasad, a retired senior government official, MG Devasahayam, who was a close associate of Loknayak Jayaprakash Narayan, has written a book titled Emergency and Neo Emergency. In chapters 9 and 10, M.G. Devasahayam describes how he tried to get Gyani Zail Singh and Sheikh Abdullah to act as mediators to bring about a reconciliation between Indira Gandhi and Jayaprakash Narayan, and of how these were sabotaged by Sanjay Gandhi and his cabal of R.K. Dhawan, Bansi Lal, Om Mehta, and others. M.G. Devasahayam got Sheikh Abdullah to issue a statement which was published in the Tribune newspaper of Chandigarh on 22nd September 1975, in which Sheikh Abdullah stated that Indira Gandhi was more than keen to end the emergency, and he offered his services to reconcile Jayaprakash Narayan and Indira Gandhi. JP immediately wrote a long letter to Sheikh Abdullah, and MG Devasahayam has reproduced this handwritten letter dated 23rd September 1975 on page 121 of his book. JP ended his letter to Sheikh Abdullah. You have stated that the PM is more than keen to end the emergency. The first test of her keenness will be whether this letter is allowed to be delivered to you and whether you are permitted to see me. M.G. Devasahayam described how this letter was not delivered to Sheikh Abdullah and was returned to JP by Sugata Dasgupta, head of JP's Gandhian Institute of Studies at Varanasi, who was conveying messages back and forth between JP and Professor Prithvinath Dhar, who was the principal secretary to Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. And N.G. Devasahayam has voiced his suspicions that Sanjay Gandhi and his coterie were responsible for JP's letter not being delivered to Sheikh Abdullah. My personal information is that Sanjay Gandhi was trying to sabotage agreements between JP and Indira Gandhi because he viewed JP as the major obstacle to his seizing absolute power. And I have elaborated on this in several of my YouTube videos and in my published articles. My personal information is that Professor P.N. Dhar, who had been extremely close to JP for decades, long before he had joined Indira Gandhi's secretariat on the recommendation of JP, that P.N. Dhar had the complete authorization of Indira Gandhi to agree to most of JP's demands so that she could end the emergency soon. And P.N. Dhar took precautions to ensure that Sanjay Gandhi and his coterie did not get to know the contents of these messages conveyed back and forth by Sugata Das Gupta. My information is that both Gyani Zail Singh and Sheikh Abdullah were using their authority and their influence as self arrogated mediators to further their own political agenda, which would have had serious repercussions in the Punjab and Kashmir situations. At that time, in 1975, the accord between Sheikh Abdullah and Indira Gandhi about Kashmir had just been signed and was in a sensitive phase of implementation. Therefore, Indira Gandhi decided to utilize a non political intermediary who would not have had his own agenda. Her choice fell on Lord Fenner Brockway, and M.G. Davis Sahayam has described how Lord Fenner Brockway wrote to J.P. conveying Indira Gandhi's regrets for imposing the emergency, as well as apologizing to J.P. for having placed him under arrest. Devasahayam writes that J.P. was too ill to respond immediately to Lord Fenner Brockway. When J.P. felt better after a few days, Devasahayam and his fellow government officials in Chandigarh were horrified to discover that Brockway's letter had mysteriously disappeared from JP's heavily guarded hospital room. Brockway's letter had mysteriously disappeared from JP's heavily guarded hospital room. And in my published articles and in my YouTube videos, I have described how Lord Fenner Brockway had advised JP to accept the very generous terms offered by Indira Gandhi. However, JP hardened his stance and made numerous additional demands which were not acceptable to Indira Gandhi. For more insights into the emergency of 1975 to 1977, please see my YouTube channel at RP60 and my numerous published articles, as well as M.G. Devasahayam's book Emergency and Neo Emergency. Please also connect with me on LinkedIn, X, Twitter, Facebook pages, Instagram, and Meta threads. My X Twitter accounts are at RVP and at RVP underscore 60. On my YouTube channel at RP60, I will be uploading several more videos about politics, the economy, business and industry, and about technology. This is Ravi Visvesvaraya, Sharada Prasad saying goodbye.